Jai Hind all of you. I am Dr. Rahul Bansal from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So this one is the first video lecture of electronic devices KEC 301. So let us start. So in this video, first video, we will be discussing about the different type of electronic materials, right? So electronic material, the main goal of this electronic material is to generate and control the flow of the electron current. These electronic materials can be further classified as conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So conductors are those which are having the highest conductivity, right? So this is due to the large availability of the electrons. And if I talk about the insulators, they are having the zero conductivity. We will be discussing in the next video lecture about this in the details. And if I talk about the semiconductors, these are having the conductivity which are in between the semiconductor and the conductors. Okay. Next, if I talk about the conductors, some examples are copper, gold, tungsten and graphite, right? So if I talk about the one example from the conductor, that is the copper. So it consists of one electron in the outermost cell, as you can see. So this is the one electron which is available in the outermost cell, and this will be responsible for the conductivity. Okay, so approximately 10⁻28 per meter cube electrons or you can say atoms will be there, right? Free electrons will be there for the conductivity, so that the conductivity is very high in the case of these conductors, right? So next is, so whenever we apply the potential, or you can say electric field, so these electrons will be aligned in the same direction, and they will be responsible for the conductivity, and they can easily strip from the atom. Okay, and they will contribute to the conductivity. So next is the insulators. So insulators are those whose conductivity is zero at any temperature. Okay, so all the electrons will be bonded with the ionic bond in the case of insulators. And if I talk about the energy gap, so take the example, that is, if I consider this as conduction band and this band will as the valence band, right? And the gap between these two is called as the forbidden energy gap. Okay, so this forbidden energy gap in case of insulator is very high. So if I talk specifically, it is approximately greater than 5 electron volt, right? So if I talk about the conductors, this gap is 0, or you can say this valence band will be in conduction band, so they will be merged together. So these two bands will be overlapping together. So that's why we just say the conductivity will be high. So in detail we will be discussing about this two bands, valence band and conduction band. So this is actually the basic introduction, right? Next is the semiconductors. So in case of semiconductors, this conductivity, the conductivity will be in between the conductors and the insulator, right? So examples are silicon and the germanium. Although the fourth group element we will discussing in the periodic table also, so fourth group element are called as the pure semiconductors. Although the fourth group element also consists of carbon atom, but it is not considered as the semiconductor because of its unstable and unreliable properties. So if I talk about the carbon atom, sometime it behave like carbon material, it behave like semiconductor, it behave like conductor, and sometime it behave like the insulator. So in the diamond, the carbon atoms are arranged such that it will be behaving like a insulator. But if I take the case of graphite, so the carbon atoms are arranged such that it will be behaving like a conductor, right? So we will not take the case of carbon atom, we will be only study about the silicon and the germanium as a semiconductor, right? So in terms of the availability, this silicon is available in the abundant amount on the earth crust. So it is like very cheaper. And if I take the case of germanium, so it is very it is available in the very less amount. So it is like having the high cost, right? Although some of the properties of this silicon are dominating over the germanium also, right? And many properties are dominating in the germanium also. So we will be discussing in the next video lecture, or you can say next slides, right? So among these two, silicon is considered to be the best as compared to the germanium because of its thermal stability that we will be discussing later, right? And due to its availability. Okay. So thermally this silicon is highly stable as compared to the germanium, right? So next is, if I talk about the periodic table, so this fourth group element, as we have like discussed, right, carbon, silicon, germanium, SnPb. So these are considered to be the semiconductors, and main semiconductors are like silicon and germanium, right? And this silicon and germanium, these are called as the pure semiconductors. So these are having the 4 electron in their outmost shell. If I talk about the silicon, so it is having 4 electron in the outermost shell. So all the silicon atom will be bonded together with the other atoms using a covalent bond. So these electrons will be bonded together with the other atoms using the covalent bond, right? So at the 0 degree Kelvin, these covalent bond will be like these are not broken, right? So they are bonded together, right? So that this pure semiconductor at the 0 degree Kelvin, it will be behaving like a insulator, right? So conductivity will be equal to 0 at the 0 degree Kelvin. If we increase the temperature from the 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature, right, then the conductivity will increase, or you can say it will not be equal to 0. So why does it happen? If we increase the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature, then a number of covalent bond will be broken, right? So these covalent bond will be broken. We will discuss it later in the detail about this. A number of covalent bond will be broken, so that a number of charge carrier will be generated. So due to the increase in the number of charge carriers, or you can say concentration of the carriers, the conductivity will increase in case of silicon and germanium, right? So this silicon and germanium are considered to be the pure semiconductors, right? Okay, so if I talk about the pure semiconductors, so these are the pure semiconductors, and actually the conductivity of this pure semiconductor are very less, right? So what we do is we have to increase the conductivity, right? Initially for the pure semiconductor we don't have the enough amount of charge carriers that can contribute to the conductivity. So to increase the conductivity, what we have to do is we have to add some impurity, okay, so that we can combine this fourth group element with the third group element also, and we can combine this fourth group element with the fifth group element also. So if we add the fourth group element with the third group element, right, so these type of semiconductors are called as extrinsic semiconductor, and specifically if fourth group element is combining with the third group element, so it is called as the p-type semiconductors. Next, if I add this fourth group element with the fifth group element, okay, suppose that I am combining this silicon with the this arsenic of the fifth group element, then the impurity which is added to this pure semiconductor is called as the pentavalent impurity, okay, and the semiconductor which is formed is called as the n-type semiconductor, right? So these are called as the extrinsic semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductor can be n-type or p-type, right? And pure form of semiconductor is called as the intrinsic semiconductor. So these are the two type of semiconductors that are formed, right? Next is the basics of the EDC, or you can say electronic devices. So first we will be talking about the thermal voltage. So this term will be like widely used throughout your like analog circuit, integrated circuits and all, right? So what is thermal voltage? So mathematically it is represented by Vt, right? One second now. Mathematically it is represented by Vt. If you go for the standard books, you will see that many books write this as Vt, okay. So capital V, capital T, right? So it is equal to kT by Q, right, where this K is called as Boltzmann constant. Okay, its value is 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joule per degree Kelvin. So this is Boltzmann constant. This T is temperature. Absolute temperature. You can take in the degree Kelvin, right? Next is Q. Q is the charge on electron. Its value is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, right? So overall its value kT by Q value is equal to kT by Q has the value equal to 0 at 0 degree Kelvin, and its value will be equal to 25.6 millivolt at room temperature. Okay, this blue color pen shows the its values, right? So don't confuse with the like writing is. Okay, so Vt has the value which is equal to 0 at the 0 degree Kelvin, and its value will be equal to 25.6 millivolt at the room temperature, right? So you can see from this variation a very high increase in the temperature leads to the very small change in the thermal voltage. Okay, if we increase the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin to the higher degree Kelvin, then a small amount of thermal voltage will change, right? Next is minority carrier current. So this is also an important parameter, right? So this is also temperature dependent parameter. So if we consider mathematically, many of the books write this as like I naught, right? So this is temperature dependent parameter. So I will write this as function of the temperature. So you can write this as like thermally generated current. So this thermally generated current is very crucial in the electron devices. If at all this minority charge carrier current is high, so it will be less beneficial, or in other words, you can say this minority charge carrier current is kept very low, or you can say 0, right? So if I write this mathematical expression for this thermally generated current, it is actually equal to I naught at any temperature T2, it will be equal to I naught T1 2 raised to power T2 minus T1 divided by 10, right? So this is the minority charge carrier current at the temperature T2. It will be equal to minority charge carrier current at the temperature T1, right? Multiply by 2 raised to power T2 minus T1 divided by 10. So you can postulate from this mathematical equation. What you can postulate? You can say that if I increase the temperature from T1 to T2 and the difference is 10 degree centigrade or 10 degree Kelvin, difference is 10 unit, then the current minority charge carrier current will be double, right? So suppose that initial temperature T1 was 300 degree Kelvin, which is the room temperature, right? So if the temperature has been increased from this 300 degree Kelvin towards the 310 degree Kelvin, right? So the difference between the two temperature is actually 10 degree Kelvin, right? So if I compute the relation between the minority charge carrier current between these at these two temperature, so we can compute like so I naught at higher degree temperature will be equal to I naught at the initial temperature multiply by 2 raised to power T2 minus T1 divided by 10. So this is the basic relation that we have like discussed. So I naught at T2, that is at the I naught at 310 degree Kelvin, it will be equal to I naught at 300 degree Kelvin multiply by 2 raised to power 10 divided by 10, or you can say multiply by 2. So I naught at 310 degree Kelvin will be equal to I naught at 300 Kelvin, right? So multiply by 2. So what we can postulate, for every 10 degree rise in the temperature, the minority charge carrier current will be double, right? So you can just see from this discussion that this minority charge carrier current is highly dependent on the temperature, right? So it should be avoided. So due to this minority charge carrier current, noise will be created in the device. Okay. So next, so in the next video lecture, we will be discussing about the basic content of this electronic devices. Till now in this video we have discussed about the introduction to the electronic devices materials, right, and different terminologies. So thank you all of you.